Welcome back everybody, it's the guy that never uploads here, and today we'll take a look at DefNoodles versus Keemstar, arguably the two most biased news sources on the entire internet at the moment, and see why these two have been beefing with each other recently. Meaning, if you're hyped for some absolute YouTube cancer, you found the perfect video. So a DefNoodles versus Keemstar beef is kinda like Freddy versus Jason. If you replace Freddy with a middle-aged man clearly stuck in a midlife crisis, and Jason with a failed comedian with a massive Twitter addiction, which admittedly would be about as exciting a fight as Boogie versus Kid behind the camera. I'm pretty sure they both pass out before even reaching the damn ring. Anyway, let's see what all of this fuss is really about and what's actually been going on. I'll guide you through the whole drama in case you've missed everything so far, because you know you might have hobbies, I don't. And at the end of the video, we will determine who has actually been worse during this entire drama. Even though, spoiler alert, none of them are any good to begin with. So we should probably be glad that Keemstar recently announced his retirement. First of all, I know both of these people have had a hugely controversial past. DefNoodles has been an insecure man-child for the better part of last year, and Keemstar has done some extremely fucked up things during his time on the internet, and I personally believe he should be permanently banned off the platform. But it's just my personal opinion, that's not gonna affect my judgment today, cause we'll only look at the recent beef. So this is definitely not gonna be some exposed video that's gonna end careers or any of that shit. I think if you really wanna see a Keemstar exposed video, you can probably find one. Anyway, DefNoodles, or Dennis Feitosa, has completely dropped his DefNoodles character in his videos, even though his channel is still called DefNoodles. Probably cause nobody even realized he was playing a character in the first place and wouldn't recognize the name Dennis Feitosa in the slightest. Anyway, this means he's gone a little bit more raw in his videos, if you will, which now means he can't use the "it's satire bro" argument anymore when he promotes false predator allegations, and you'd maybe think that this would actually give Keemstar some kind of advantage if he decided to come for DefNoodles, you know, since DefNoodles has just lost his main argument for his defense. But no, somehow he made DefNoodles look good in comparison, which is quite the achievement to be fair. Okay, so DefNoodles has been banned off Twitter. I know, we're all devastated to hear about that reality, and this time he suspects that Keemstar may have been behind it all. His reasoning being that Keemstar celebrated his termination within a few minutes of him actually getting banned. Now let me say this, I dislike both of these people, so I don't particularly enjoy defending either, but by his own admission, Keemstar is a 40-year-old man and full-time YouTuber whose entire career relies on essentially Twitter and YouTube drama. He spends a significant portion of his time on social media platforms such as Twitter, and even DefNoodles can probably agree with me on this. So realistically, Keem could of course be responsible if he had any connections at Twitter. That is speculation. But personally, it would surprise me, seeing as his account has essentially become fairly irrelevant these days. Ironically, one of the arguments used by DefNoodles. So I definitely doubt that Keem even had the power and influence to pull the termination of another creator off on Twitter, even though normally I probably consider it as a possibility, but what we need to realize is that DefNoodles has actually been banned off Twitter 3 months ago, and this had only been his replacement account. Now, we don't know why he originally got banned, and he is trying to work this out with Twitter according to him. But if he was already banned, the most reasonable explanation for me, and I'm sure for a lot of others, would be that his new ban is for ban evading. In case you didn't know, on Twitter, if you're already banned, you're not allowed to set up another account, which is exactly why I personally believe he just got banned for not acknowledging his first ban and signing up again. So I would actually agree with Keemstar here, especially considering that there is zero proof that Keemstar actually had anything to do with DefNoodles' termination in the first place. But that's pretty much it for supporting Keemstar in this video. Okay, so the reason these two are even firing shots at each other currently is that on average, DefNoodles reporting on the misbehavior of Keemstar has become more common than it used to be. You know, back when Twitter was still DefNoodles' main platform, and Keemstar does not take being called out well, especially when it's for stuff that's years old. And look, I hate Keem just as much as the next person. I probably even hate him more than most people. And I really don't mind people bringing up his past, cause his actions have always been detestable, and since he's about 40 now, He's been more than a legal adult the entire time, so I will definitely never excuse his previous actions with he's just immature or some other BS argument. But he actually tried defending himself by retweeting this tweet by Boblex. Now, I'm not somebody that particularly enjoys DefNoodles content. It's mostly daily uploads that are honestly incredibly repetitive. I mean, just look at these thumbnails and tell me you think none of these videos are repetitive in any way. However, in DefNoodles' video, he called Keemstar out for complaining about losing his sponsors at the hands of Ethan Klein, who, in case you don't know, directly got Keemstar's sponsors to drop him during their public beef in 2020. And in his video, DefNoodles shows old clips of Keem targeting someone's sponsors.
Today we're going to be looking at Soar Gaming. Now, Soar Gaming is a channel here with 618,000 subscribers. It is a trick shot team that makes montages, and they are sponsored by Elgato, Loot Crate, Scuff Controllers, and CyberPower PC.
That's right, folks. Keemstar literally reads out every single one of this gaming organization sponsors.
And that, I think, is a fair and valid criticism, and what you could consider the main criticism of this video, especially since saying the N-word isn't exactly new for someone as racist as Keemstar. If DefNoodles really wanted to make this video just about Keemstar saying the N-word, he could have used a lot more damning evidence.
You fucking stupid bitch! This stupid fucking justice, all fucking righteous fucking nigger!
Okay, this is the worst timeline. Let's be real, the only reason Keemstar stopped saying the N-word now is not cause he's become a better person. No, it's literally just cause YouTube will auto-demonetize the vast majority of videos with the N-word in them, and this greedy leech obviously is in the YouTube game for nothing but money. Otherwise he wouldn't have retired the other day, even though he claims the internet has become boring. So no, even though both of these people have been horrible in the past, here I have to side with DefNoodles. And then there's the false predator allegations. Now look, I have absolutely zero doubt in my mind that Keemstar meant this entirely sarcastically and has absolutely zero proof to back any of this up. Okay, look, I am really sorry guys, this is me while editing this video, but I can absolutely not fucking find this tweet. DefNoodles showed a tweet of Keemstar making an obvious joke allegation against him, and he showed that tweet in one of his videos, but I can absolutely not find it, because every single video on his channel has the same thumbnail, and I just can't find it. I'm sorry, it's essentially just like a joke allegation tweet that's obviously meant as a joke, but Keemstar's a news channel posting it. But Keem, my guy, I thought you were an idiot, but not that much of an idiot. Like, my feelings can literally be summed up in this picture. Keemstar's out here calling himself the #1 trustworthy drama news source, yet he's tweeting bullshit like this. If you're a giant news source, you can absolutely not be posting stuff like this. Cause the vast majority of people who will see this post on your, let me remind you, 3 million follower account will take a news story posted by a news commentator on a news account seriously. Okay, Keemstar might be somewhat popular for his persona and most of his takes are biased because of that, and therefore he's obviously not the most objective channel. But this is just straight up fake news, even if he meant it as a joke. The intent does not matter in this case. So I do think that DefNoodles would have a right to be upset about this. But that's not all. Apparently DefNoodles is also deleting critical comments, except that the guy that made the claim, Tipster, just had his account blocked on Dennis' channel, essentially confirming this to merely be yet another meaningless talking point for pointless drama. Look, I get that it might be upsetting for Keemstar that this guy talks negatively about him in essentially every other video, but DefNoodles just has a daily show with extremely repetitive content, cause if you really analyze all of his videos, he's almost always covering the same 20 people, A-list YouTubers and A-list celebrities that are easy to shit on in his quote-unquote news videos. But Keemstar used to milk the same people dry like a cow back in the day as well, so he really has no room to even complain here. As a matter of fact, Keemstar does not know how to defend himself at all, and has just continued to make himself look worse during every encounter with DefNoodles. I mean, how do you expect people to support you when you write this to your direct competitors in the news genre? At the end of the day, Keemstar just should not be on YouTube in the first place, and DefNoodles has a lot of redeeming to do if he wants to be seen as credible again. And these two beefing with each other does literally not benefit anyone, because both of their credibilities are completely fucked. Overall, I think Keemstar is a worse person, a less redeemable content creator, and has been weaker in this beef so far. But I don't exactly approve of DefNoodles either. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're looking for YouTube news, watch Scares.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys?